What is the best exercise for CF?
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.
This to me is a little bit of a tough question because I really feel that exercising and what the best exercise is completely based on you. What you can handle, what your body's willing to endure, what you're willing to endure. And so I would say that it's really whatever gets you out and gets you moving and gets your heart rate elevated a little bit. But really, what I wanted to do is take a couple of minutes and look at this from a different side and talk a little bit about meditation. In my opinion, it's kind of like exercise for your mind. And studies have actually shown that through meditation, we can actually change the shape of our brain and the way our brain works. And so for me, over the past 4 years, it has been a exercise and tool that I have grown to rely more and more on. It helps not just with my day-to-day activities and trying to keep myself calmer and be more present and even keeled, but it also helps a lot with anxiety and panic attacks, which are common for me, especially when I get sick and my lung function starts to deteriorate or go down a little bit, and it gets harder to exercise or harder to walk, harder to breathe. I have found that focusing on my breath, sort of as ironic as that sounds, allows me to sort of regain my composure, have the panic attacks be shorter, regain my control a little bit easier. And I try to make meditating a daily activity. I strive for at least 30 minutes every morning, typically before the house wakes up when it's really quiet and I can sit downstairs in the basement and have my 30 minutes, close my eyes. And when I do this, I use a couple of different things. I use an app called the Insight Timer on my phone, which is fantastic. The other one that I really like is the 10% Happier app. 10% Happier was a book that Dan Harris wrote, who is a news anchor on GMA. But he wrote a book about how he got into meditation after having a panic attack on live TV. And it is actually the book that 4 years ago got me into meditation and sort of started me on my journey with it. So I would highly recommend that if you haven't read it yet. But the 10% Happier app is great. It has some free things. It also has a pay side, which gives you a ton of courses that helps you sort of get into meditation if you're just learning, or helps you go further into other practices about equanimity and compassion and loving kindness, sort of different aspects of meditation to help you sort of try to better yourself, but also just to sort of calm yourself down and be more kind and more compassionate and more loving, not just to those around us, but to ourselves also. If I can't do it for 30 minutes in the morning because sometimes I was up too late doing treatments, or I'm just really tired and I can't get up early enough to do it before everybody else wakes up and get my treatments done, I try to fit it in throughout the day, whether it's 5 minutes sitting at my desk at work, or if I'm brushing my teeth, I will just sort of pay attention to the way brushing my teeth feels and try to sort of meditate around brushing my teeth. So it's not just about trying to carve out a 30-minute or an hour or 10-minute or 20-minute block. It's just really trying to fit it in anywhere you can throughout the day and just realizing that you can always come back to your breath. So that is really what I think is a little different than physical exercise. It's more mental, but I don't think we can really be healthy unless we take care of ourselves, both physically and mentally. And the mental side of that, especially as we deal with a progressive disease that makes it harder and harder to breathe as we get older, or as our disease progresses, that the mental side of it and staying healthy that way and happy and calm is a major part in staying physically healthy. Without the mind, I don't think we really can have the physical aspect. So I'd love to hear if any of you guys meditate, if you're interested, what do you do if you do meditate? And I can't wait to talk to you guys again soon. Have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the rest of the videos from the rest of the gang. And I will talk to you soon. Until then, stay well.
I got cystic fibrosis. See, I've got cystic fibrosis.